Solution 4, our Silk Roads City Game and Food Truck Festival for EU Smart Cities. So we participated in some COVID-19 United Nations and EU hackathons, and one of the focus topics was to prepare for a second wave of COVID-19 and how ICT Internet could help, how to get out in a more green way. Our team worked on 1. Racism towards people perceived as Asian in the EU, and 2. COVID-19, how to give people a way to make money, especially our members working in the leisure industry. Those are restaurants, discotheques and nightlife. We came up with a Silk Road City Game and Food Truck Festivals for EU Smart Cities. We based ourselves on 1. The South Korean Nintendo game Pokémon-Go or Ingress Augmented Reality City Game, the EU SportsWeek and eSports. 2. The Unesco Silk Roads Initiative. 3. The United Nations 2013-2022 Rapprochement of Cultures Decade. 4. Then, on 2020, April the 8th, we received a huge boost. The European Union's Fundamental Rights Agency launched a press release that the COVID-19 pandemic indeed resulted in a wave of racist attacks towards people who could be perceived as Asians and called upon cities and governments to act. 1. The Pokémon-Go game. That is something you know. Teams go out with their smartphones chasing Pokémons that become visible by looking through their smartphones around town, in parks, etc. And then players have to launch a ball by sweeping their smartphones and try to capture the Pokémon figure, earning points and find food to increase the figurine's power. So that's an element we want to keep. ICT that gets people outdoors because parents are now becoming crazy from their kids who have to stay inside and spend hours behind their screens, and when they haven't been able to play outside, it just adds stress on stress. Imagine there's a COVID-19 second wave, then hopefully youth and families can still go out and play a game as long as they stay in their bubble. And depending on how bad the second wave quarantine is in a particular city, bubbles will have to be smaller or bigger, as will be distancing, etc. If we combine this with 2 other projects we also have been working on the last years, something very valuable emerges. 2. The United Nations 2013-2022 Rapprochement of Cultures Decade. This is an initiative by the best and most inspiring specialist federations on integration, to inspire towards tolerance and collaborating among peoples. On integration, to inspire towards tolerance and collaboration among peoples, and support that small percentage of people that have it inborn into them to go out towards other peoples, so they may lead by example. 10 years to inspire, to get to know the best in each other and respective histories, inspiring role models, to get rid of hate speech, to foster collaboration and integration. 3. The UNESCO Silk Roads Initiative. This initiative is mentioned under the UN Rapprochement of Cultures Decade. It wants to inspire, referring to the thousands of years old Silk Roads, over sea and over land, spanning 1/3 of the planet over the Eurasian and African continents, trading gems, pigment color, and of course silk, bringing an increase in wealth and knowledge to all involved, with names like Marco Polo, Genghis Khan, and the tales of 1001 Arabian Nights, or the Shaolin Kung Fu monks. In our hackathon team, this resulted in our Silk Roads City Game and Food Truck Festivals. So what we propose is that a city can order the game with us. We then make sure that the Silk Roads geographical map is laid over the city in a virtual way. Part of the city becomes Europe when you look at it via your mobile phone, another part the Middle East, Africa, the Far East and Asia with the land of the rising sun. Players in their bubble teams must choose if they travel from east to west or west to east and find treasures, solve riddles prepared by the diaspora communities of the respective regions, make things, maybe a Japanese hand fan, crush a stone and make pigment, paint on silk, and we'll set up our Silk Road food trucks so people can also taste typical foods prepared by members of the respective communities, dressed in their traditional clothing. Asians will cook typical Asian food, Indians will let you taste Indian specialties, people from Persia, etc. Every community can also set up dance and acrobacy shows. Maybe this game can take place in several cities in Europe at the same holiday season for several weeks and weekends. And every week, the team that gathered most points can get a prize that is announced every Sunday, for example, at 17 o'clock. It will be an opportunity for people to get to know and get in contact with the Asian and Silk Road communities, and a great way for lots of families to get their kids back out in the real world, running around with friends in and around parks, learning a thing or two, and making new friends. Specialists at the European Commission's Directorate General for Sports, Dance and Athleticism call this an augmented reality city fitness and cultural learning game, promoting the integration and EU community building. So this project is also great for the last week of September during the annual EU Be Active Sports Week. Most importantly, if there is a second or third wave of COVID-19, cities, governments and we will be prepared so kids and families can still go out, have fun, and the game can adapt to the severity of the outbreak by varying the size of the bubbles and the distancing. Many also appreciate the mental and physical health support our game brings. Pokémon-Go and similar augmented reality city games such as Ingress have shown it is possible to get these games sponsored. We can indeed steer the game and bring people along a company building that sponsors treasures that result in points. For example, imagine the Mobistar Ruby Gemstone, allowing to buy something at a food truck, or the Singapore Airlines Flying Carpet, allowing to take public transport to get to another part of the Silk Road faster. Or we can help promote the city by bringing people to monuments or places where public services are offered, like free vaccination or public health care, or meet the ambulance, firefighters, the police, to combat vandalism. So what do you think? Interested in making money with this? Send us what you could do and how you will find financing for it. Maybe Erasmus Plus will finance, or a local government grant, maybe company sponsoring. We would use a short-lasting MLM, multi-level marketing, to get teams marketing this in every region in Europe. So, should we develop this further? Leave your comments below. Consider becoming a member for the price of coffee per month, and see you at the next video.